Hello there team, welcome back to Global Rugby Manager, where we are kicking off today an introduction to season number 8 of Global Rugby Manager with the Invercargill Invaders. The seasons have just rolled over, so this is our first real chance to have a look at a few things with the squad. We've got, of course, what's happened with the new divisions. There's been a reshuffle with the division, so we've got a new look pile of teams that we will be playing this season. And here's an early little hint. There's no droid sides whatsoever in our division. We've also got youth players, a lot of those guys coming through the ranks, and we have picked up some of our very own this season as well. Of course, we're having the starting team that will be taking on our first matchup, and of course our first few rounds of the competition, see who we're going to be facing and what our chances realistically will be this season to make that one extra point and go into the playoffs for Season 8 of Global Rugby Manager. So let's kick things into gear and have a look where we ended off last season from our overall ranking, or seeding as GRM likes to call it, from all the teams in all the divisions. The Invercargill Invaders sit down in 71st, pretty much sitting steady for most of the season. I think we started off in the mid-70s and we've worked our way up to the low 70s. Hopefully we can move further on into those 60s and make our way up those seeding rankings. But let's get into the real nitty-gritty of why you're here. And I think more than anything, everyone is here to see one thing only, and the biggest thing of all season to happen is the youth players. So let's not mess about. You can see we've spent our money. We only went into the off-season with about 30k in the bank, where we've spent just under 20, and we have picked up 6 players coming to the Invercargill Invaders. So let's update the mailbox where we can see the names of the guys we have picked up. Of course, we did lose a player as well, and that was Lior, and amazingly, there's actually no retirement message from Mr. Lior going into the new season. There's no thanks for the time, guys, I'll see you later. Nope, he just walked out. So no more Lior, which did mean we would be a bit short in the number 9 department. So that'll make sense a bit more very, very soon. We've picked up, as you can see, 6 players through the youth system, I guess you could call it. Let's start off with Matthew Ward. Now, those of you who play GRM may be a bit more familiar with these guys than others, but we'll have a look here before we have a look at the actual players. We've also got Callum Davis. We also have Augustin Silva. We have Ben Boyle. We have Cyan Thunder Duplessis. Love that name. It's a great little name. Any Africans out there would like to correct my pronunciation. If it's not correct, do feel free to do so. But I'm going with Cyan Thunder Duplessis. I like it. But Mr. SDP will be another one joining us. And last but not least will be, I don't know if it's Giles Mcdonald or Gillies Mcdonald, but we're going to go with Giles because that's an old man's name and it just works a bit better, doesn't it, with old McDonald and his rugby team. So who are these players? Who are they? Where do they fit into our team? Let's update the mail again and take a look as to where they'll fit in to this side. Now, the starting team will remain pretty much as it was. We'll go over that next, but first things first, let's have a look at the new additions to the Invaders. Of course, Ben Boyle down the bottom. Now, positionally wise, we have picked up 3 scrum halves, 2 fly halves, and 1 inside centre. That is what we've grabbed. Ben Boyle, you can see first and foremost at the bottom here, is the first scrum half we've picked up. Now, I'm not too upset about these additions because 81 rated isn't too bad to pick up a new player. I mean, we've got Krasiscu here, who is only 80 rated, and he's 21 years or 23 years old. So to pick up a guy 81 rated straight off the whistle is not bad. And also, you can look through his stats. He's not a bad little player overall either, is the Irishman. Good 3-star playmaking. Not bad little defensive play to start off with as well. You look through the actual stats and he's got very good handling, which is great for a scrum half. Good passing as well. Not bad little kicker, but he's very elusive. He's a good defender. He's disciplined and he's well aware of what's going on. A lot of key core skills that a scrum half does need. Probably where he does let himself down physical training, but I really do like the skill training this guy's got. And he is trailing the other 2 by a couple. So that is where he is going to have to really jump up and make himself the point of difference when he becomes maybe early 20s, when Brock Bonesio ultimately is going to retire, one of these guys has to step up. Now, Brocky is 31 this season. You probably guessed it already. No one's retiring because there's no news items there about it. So, thank goodness that continues for at least another 2 or 3 seasons. We'll have Brocky about. But you know that these guys are going to be at least 21 before they have to play, because Brock will play this season. If he retires next, he's got all next season as well still to play before these guys have to come into action. So, Ben Boyle, good start. I like him. I like his skill training. And if we can build up on him a bit more, he could be a good little player. Also, Callum Davis. Another one, this one, a little Welsh player. Another scrum half. Bit better defensively. Still got that 3-star playmaking as well, which I like in a number 9. Now, you can see Mr. Davis is a little bit more well-rounded. Then we see from Benny Boyle. You can see little bits of things like these stats here. A little bit of height. He's a little bit better with his passing. He's just a little bit more of an established player. And that gives him that little boost of an extra 2 overall skill points. What he doesn't have, though, which is disappointing, though, is the skill and the physical training is not up to speed of where he really needs to be in a couple of years' time. That is where he's going to fall away. Good little player. He'll definitely fill the hole right now because we are lacking depth at number 9. So good to have him in there, 83 rated. Still a very good little backup scrum half. Boyle will do the training, but it will be Davis and the third scrum half we've got, which is Giles Mcdonald, that will be doing the backing up for this team. Let's have a look at Mr. Mcdonald straight away anyway and compare. You see those two guys very, very similar. These sort of stats, all pretty much the same. Handling, all these core skills they need. The passing, about the same as well. First things first with these guys, of course, is stamina. And I mean, it's not too much that's really going to separate these guys when their speed's about the same, their passings are about the same. These things here around the mid-70s as well. So there's a lot of similarities. And again, much like Mr. Davis down below, pretty poor on the training, which is where I think Mr. Boyle gets a bit of an edge over both Mcdonald and, of course, Mr. Davis as well. I don't know why I'm calling them Mr. They're 19-year-old kids. Sorry. Ben has the advantage over Callum and Giles to really get that long-term nod in the number 9 jumper for now. You know, there's always going to be those 19-year-olds that are very quickly chucked on the transfer list. We may look to pick some of those up. Forwards, extremely highly sought after. And, I mean, I'm not too disturbed about it because I've picked up a couple of really, really good backline players, which you may have seen already by just glancing up the screen a bit. But the best is yet to come. Let's just say that. These 3 great depth players, but the last 2 are going to be stars of the Invaders in the very near future. You can guarantee that. Here is the 4th player and the only midfield option that we actually picked up from the youth department. It is Augustin Silva. Now this Argentinian player comes in as an inside centre, 78 rated, which puts him a bit down the pecking order, to be completely fair with you. We've also got Griffith Watschek as well, a very good player. We've seen him a little bit last season in those positions. Of course, we've got guys like Mayo, who's an outside centre. We've got Kang already, who is at 80 rated. Silva comes in at 78. Not the greatest training. You compare to Kang, who is very good there in the skill training. So, might be a bit of a tough ask here for Silva to get much out of his time here with the Invaders. But he's definitely one to keep on the books. We'll see how he develops as well. But he may be departing, maybe staying, who knows. Inside centre is kind of handy to have, but I mean, we've got Dylan Fox as well, another one who did start last season, didn't do much though, but a tough ask here for Mr. Silva. Fox, yeah, not the greatest trainer there either, so really tough ask for those guys to make inroads into the starting team. But to make inroads into the starting team, we need superstars. Fill this one up for your coffee cup. Have a look at Matthew Ward. 87 rated. The English fly half looks like a superstar already. And when we compare him with the 3 we've got already, yes, Hanano is still here. Those guys are 89 and 90. And really, when you look at this, and you look at this bottom piece down here, skill training 86, he is going to fly up. And that is extremely exciting. 87 overall. 5-star Superboot, 3-star playmaker. Look at those kicking stats, amazing. Awareness is amazing. Handling is already amazing. He has got potential coming out his nose. He looks so very good. Won't be the quickest, of course, but he is pretty good on the injury front already, and agile, nice. He'll be just over mid-80s in his speed and acceleration, so I'm really excited as to what Matthew Ward can do. He is the highest rated youth player we picked up, but I don't think he will be for very long, because there is something special in the big name of Simon du Plessis from South Africa. Have a look at that. Wow. Simon Fanda, welcome to the Invercargill Invaders. This kid gets me extremely excited about the future of this team. Of course, big thing about him is this bottom row. Training rates, physical 77. It's alright, pretty good. I'll take it, definitely very good. But skill 98. 98! That is just phenomenal for a player already rated in the 80s. I mean, you look at a guy, where is he? Phil Muhammad is 81 and 81, and he absolutely rockets up points and skills. He is a super fast trainer, and first thing's priority will be to get that training facility maximum leveled up, so we can absolutely cream these guys that have the fast training rates. But Simon du Plessis looks like he is going to be so good. And that number 10 jumper. I mean, Muhammad Martin, I really like you, but boy, you've got your work cut out. This kid's 4 years younger. Look at those skills, the awareness, the handling, the kicking. Everything looks so good on this young du Plessis. He looks like a real talent, and I can't wait to try and fit these guys into the team. First things I've been thinking about, I've said this a lot, I've done a lot of thinking about this season coming up, is the number 12 jumper. Now, you know we got Augustine Silva down the bottom there on inside centre, but the potential that a Ward or a du Plessis could fill that number 12 jumper that Mr. Carter Jones has, as impressive as he was last season, how much better would it be if we could slot in an 87 or an 85 rated Ward or du Plessis? But the other thing to consider about Mr. Carter Jones, I can call him Mr. because he's 25, okay, come on, is his skill training is also very good. Compared to a Matthew Ward, it's only about 10-12 points away. Du Plessis definitely has the advantage there massively, but Carter Jones still very good skill trainer, already has that little advantage possibly of being capable at that level. But I do think in future we may see a double fly half 10-12 combination for the Invercargill Invaders. It's definitely a possibility that has got my thinking right up there to get those guys game time. I mean, if Carter Jones gets injured, I think I'm going straight for it, because Dylan Fox, I mean, I feel sorry for poor old Dylan. He's right up there, isn't he? He's 84 rated. He's actually surpassed Carter Jones in overall rating. I mean, why wouldn't you play him? You think you really would play him when he's got all those better skills, but they're very similar players. And 83 to 84, it's hard to really argue as to who would start there, and you'd say, I mean, despite that, is it his physicals that have got him up a bit higher rating overall. But that 12 jumper still has Cypher, Mathanda, du Plessis written all over it, doesn't it, for the future, or even Matthew Ward for right now. We will see, though, how the season progresses. Injuries are massive. If we lose a 12, we lose a 13, do we start thinking about these young kids? So those are the 6 players we have picked up. I haven't put any straight into the starting team, because despite those two being exceptionally good, 85 and 87, they could squeeze in, like I said, with the number 12 jumper. But I'd like to see just how we go this season. Mainly things along the lines of the loss of skill we're going to get from Matthew Ward if he did go to 12 would make him pretty similar to what we'll get from Carter Jones anyway by rating. What would lose here on the penalties of playing him outside of his position. Aside from that, there is a lot of competition at the moment for starting positions. The front row, Blaine van der Merwe, Dimitri Tutrescu will start at number 2, and Mark Collis at 3 on the tight head side. I really would have loved to get a good hooker that could have gone bang straight in there as a 19-year-old and just owned that number 2 jumper. Of course, money talks big time, and we only had 30k, so what can I say? But front row wise, we look at those 3. We'll have a look at the team now while we're here anyway, may as well. Then we'll have a look at our league and fixtures to wrap up this little introduction to season number 8 before our first game, which is only a few days away now. Van der Merwe and Collis. Now, the propping situation is strong when we've got Jacqueline Nicholas, who is actually 81 rated now. I really want to play Nicholas and Collis together because they both weigh 116 kilos. They are big boys, big thunderous meats, and put them at loose head and tight head. That would be amazing. And really, if I didn't have a soft spot for Blaine van der Merwe, it would happen. But I really love how this guy plays. He does absolutely everything very, very well. And this guy's the one who always goes up in the front row. It is Tutrescu. And of course, the one competing for that is Kikuchi, but still, that little advantage goes with Tutrescu. He's not retiring despite being 33. So he'll stay there. And he can stay there for now as well. We do still lack that good hooker. We bid on a lot of locks. Oh boy, we bid on a lot of locks for the off-season and the youth recruitment. But we didn't get any of them, obviously. We got no forwards. We got 6 backs. So Lucas Angetti and Leon Richards will continue to be the second row partnership. And of course, it'll be Paul Deprez, who will slot in as the reserve if required, hopefully not. Very good to have that backup though. Josh Evans will stay at 6 for now. And we've got Louis Pichella, who has stormed into the starting team in the place of Ross Taras. 3 rating points now. Pichella is absolutely creaming it. That training rate is what I'm talking about. Ross Taras, still good, getting left behind there. And then Sam Cooper. Sam Cooper is a powerhouse and fits that number 8 role very, very well. So I'm excited to see how those 3 will go on the back row for the new season. Brock Bonesio will stay at number 9. Of course, no one even touches him in that position. Mohammed Martin still starts at 10, but someone is really pushing to take that position over. Charles Banks training very, very well. Again, off-season really hammers those training rates, of course, with a lot of trainings over that 2-week period. He has popped up very nicely in his physicals, and now he is pushing for that number 10 spot. He has actually popped to 90, whereas Martin is still 89, but I do still like what Martin offers us in the playmaking department and the kicking department over a Charles Banks, who is training, but I mean, his kicking and passing is a bit down on what we see from Mohammed Martin. So for that reason alone, we've stuck with the Mohammed connection, because Phil Mohammed will still be at 11. No one's going to touch him. Not even Golden Hands Guzman, who has been playing some training matches and looked very impressive, but 97 rated. How about that? Phil Mohammed. Hopefully we can get him in the action a bit more. 99 speed is already max. A couple more weeks and we'll have max acceleration as well. Then we can hammer that agility. He looks to be a superstar for a few seasons yet, hopefully, in the Invaders shirt. Carter Jones will stay at 12. We've talked about him a lot, so for now he'll stay at 12. Let me know your thoughts on the future of Mr. Jones. He's 25. Future in the number 12 jumper. Gage Carter, no one's really come for his jumper, 88 rated. He has got that sorted, as has Clyde Edwards, who has got better and better as time has gone on. Would love to see him getting a bit better. 68 though, still fairly good in the training department. But Tamoli Gossard, again 50, not the greatest, but he is going to be rapid. Maxed out speed already. Let's get that acceleration up there. And he's going to be one to watch again this season. Really like the way he's developing. Really like how he plays our game. Training for him is becoming big. We've got to get him up there to be a world-class fullback. Defensively, we're working on him pretty well. His kicking game, he's got a great punt already. I'd like to get it up a bit more. But overall handling and defense is where we've got to get him absolutely top of the class, because we know he can attack, we know he's quick, but if he can defend as well, we have a future there for 10 seasons with Bartomoli. Then the reserves, of course, talk about Nicholas Kikuchi. Deprez will be the reserve second rower. Ross Tara still there, the reserve back rower. The Banks, we really looked at him a little bit. And of course, we've seen what Washek and Collett can offer as the reserve centre and outside back as well. Of course, still a lot of players and still some on the list. I mean, Hineno's on the list. We've still got Mara Gray on the list. And I think there was someone else as well. Possibly Mr. Murphy. It was definitely a back. Yeah, Mr. Murphy, I think, is the other one on the list as well. So if you're interested, go throw a bid. They're pretty cheap. They're backs. They've got to go. They've got to go. So a lot of depth in the squad, and you can see a lot of good ratings in the squad as well. Especially this. Oh, I can see it. Season 10. Synth Amanda Duplessis will be tearing GRM to pieces. Okay, let's move on now to what we have to look forward to. First round, we are at home to the Berlin Barbarians. So you may notice that Lederhusen is the manager of that side. So let's have a look at the league division here. And we can see it's all changed completely. We were over here before, and my God, I'm lucky and thankful that we're not there now. The Border Invasion and the Adelaide Dingo in that division, that is scary. Very, very, very scary. But we are slightly to the right, where we are with the Berlin Barbarians. We have the Bulawayo Butchers and the Cape Town Fair. The team that, took us to pieces in our first meeting, and then we just about got revenge in our second. So that is one we know will be tough. The rest, your guess is as good as me. I haven't seen many of these sides. Still got CJ and his Hawke's Bay Sharks in the division as well. Hopefully we won't be meeting them. Fingers crossed. I would like to not have to play either of those two sides as well. The Bangor Rams are still there as well. And this one is a real concern. The Los Angeles Rams, that is a concern for me. That is a big, big concern. Others, I'm sure there's a lot of other really good teams that I just haven't seen around the traps before. So that is a bit of a concern, what these sides offer. And you see, you look through them all, no one is a droid side. And that is the biggest concern of all, that there shouldn't really be any easy wins in this division. We are in a tough one. We are in a really, really tough league now. And the Invaders have got to make something out of it. How are we going to do it? I really don't know. What I do think would be a good idea, though, is if on this page there was a little bracket of their seeding. So we looked at the seedings at the start, you could gauge about how good a team was, how good they're under or overperforming by their seeding. It's an idea that would be quite informative. So to have, say, the Cardiff Claw bracket 65th or whatever their seeding was, that does change. Maybe even went green if they progressed up, or red for down, things like that. Just to give you a bit of a gauge here. At the moment, I'm looking at all these sides. I have no idea how good the Port Elizabeth Rams are, for example, or how good the Aberdeen Rams are. And we've still got the Rosario Rockets as well. Actually, hang on a minute. The Rosario Rockets thrashed us last season. The Cape Town Fair, didn't we thrash last season? They were the droid side. Now I'm confused. Yes, I'm pretty sure that was the right way around. But alas, Canterbury Barbarians, how good are they? We won't know until we see them this season as well. So let's have a look at our fixtures list for the first few rounds. Or might as well look at the whole season, I guess, for a bit of an insight for Season 8. We start off against the Berlin Barbarians. Then we're away to the Canberra Snipers. They must be in a different division. They are indeed. So who knows how good they are? I have no idea at all. Never seen them before. Then we're back at home to the Bulawayo Butchers, for we stay at home to the Birmingham Zulu. So that's going to cost us at the end of the season when we don't have that consecutive home match run. So we've got to keep that in mind. They're away to the Cape Town Fair for being back at home to the Burnie Spartans. Then we are away to the Durban Dolphins and away again to the Newcastle Grizzlies. Okay, so that's rectified our home from earlier. Then we're away again to the Berlin Barbarians. Was that 3 in a row? Oh my goodness me. Round 7, 8, 9 is going to be tough. Very tough. that's the same team that we play in round 1, so that could be an away trip that could have a lot of bearings on how this season goes. Oh, away 4 in a row! Sydney Stars, we are going to be bankrupt by the time we get to this game. And away again, there's 5 games in a row that the Invaders are on the road. Bulawayo Butchers again, second meeting with them, and our 5th match on the road. Then we get back at home to Port Elizabeth Rams, and then the Cape Town Fair. One last, I should expect, away trip to the Derby Massacre before 2 home games to finish with a Cardiff Claw and the Cape Town Mounties. I see positives that we don't play the Hawke's Bay Sharks, we don't play the Rosario Rockets, we don't play the Bangor Rams, we don't play the Adelaide Dingo. Thumbs up from me, because those guys, based on last season, should all kick our ass. So I'm lucky and thankful that we're not going to play them, but I do enjoy playing the teams that we actually do have a bit of banter with as well. So happy we don't have to play those good sides, but also a bit upset that we don't get to have that banter match with the guys, you guys out there, essentially, that watch the videos as well. So there you go. That's a little insight to what Season 8 will have to offer the Invercargill Invaders. There's a tough passage of 5 or 6 away games in a row that is going to really dictate our season this year. It's good that we've got a good run of home games at the end, so we can get a good bit of money saved up for the off-season, where we could get some youth players, where we could, I don't know what we could do. Maybe look at more upgrades, or who knows what we could look at doing. But first things first, home games, you want to get our training facilities right up there to the best. We want to make the best we can of those youth guys coming in with the good training rates as well. And of course, most importantly, win, win, win. Get those W's as well. But that is it for a little introduction into Season 8 of Global Rugby Manager with the Invercargill Invaders. Hope you enjoyed this little look. If you are in my division, say hi, let me know how good your team is and if we should be completely scared or not. Or we'll do a little bit of research before we play all the sides as well, so we have a little bit of an insight into how good these teams are. But for now, that is what we have to look forward to. As always, thanks to the guys at GRM for letting me make the videos on the game. And also welcome to the new players who have joined. A few in the last couple of episodes in the comments saying they have just joined the game. Welcome along to the GRM world. And finally, I'd like to say apologies for my voice. Not many videos on the channel recently as well, because, yeah, bloody sick. Just always sick all the time. Seems always my voice. It's always my voice. The one thing I actually use and things I enjoy doing is the one thing that always seems to get ill. So apologies for that. It's a bit better now than it was, so hopefully it was still pretty understandable what we were talking about. But I cannot wait for a few days' time when the Invercargill Invaders are in action. Now, first match versus, I've forgotten already, the Berlin Barbarians. Ooh, should be a cracker for our little division. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and if you do want to get involved in GRM, there's heaps of spots available, but how good would it be for every league to be like this, with our all human managed sides? That is one thing I would love to see. So just go to globalrugbyManager.com, download the client, make your account, get a team, and you too can be involved in trying to take out the best team in the world, the Invercargill Invaders. Possibly not, asterisks after that. In Global Rugby Manager. So do that if you like the look of the game. We will have matches coming next episode, of course, as we follow the adventure of the Invaders in Season number 8. Until then, thanks for watching, and as always, take care.